Hi friends, it's Jenny Phillips with JenniferLPhillips.com. I am with you today as a follow-up to yesterday's video post where I talked about the urgency of meaningful work and how looking hard at the way we're spending our days is going to be important work and an important commitment for us to make in the time ahead as we try to create a society and a world and communities that reflect our values more fully. So I wanted to start with a follow-up, and this one will be brief compared to yesterday's video, to talk a little bit about the mindset that is needed to go into this type of work on our careers. And I think specifically I want to focus you on the longevity that will be required for your commitment if you really want to think about how to begin to shift and continue to shift the work that you're doing so that it better supports the type of communities that we want to build and that we want to live in and that we believe everyone deserves. And so, the ask today very directly is that you get real with yourself about how committed you really are to this. Because if you are only grasping for answers after being confronted by another tragedy, then your commitment's going to ring hollow pretty quickly. And if you want it to be substantive and you want it not to be a superficial response, then you need to be willing, one, to come back again and again and do this work. Inner work, the work of changing your role, the work of changing your path, whatever is required. You're going to have to commit to coming back again and again and again to do this work. So, assuming that, sorry, my video popped out, assuming that you are still watching and you are willing to do that, the other mindset, important mindset piece that I want you to start thinking about and considering sooner than later is that you're going to have to allow yourself to be uncomfortable from time to time as you go through this process and as you make whatever shift that you personally need to make. So, you're going to have difficult conversations, yes, and that's something that I think those of us who are engaged right now in an activist sense are very aware of and are, have maybe been in the process of making peace with for a long time now. But in addition to the uncomfortable conversations you're going to have with other folks, you're going to have some uncomfortable moments with yourself because you're going to have to get real with yourself about where you are and where you want to be and how aligned your current situation is with your values. And recognizing points of tension between your values and your life is a stressful thing. There's really no way to avoid that. And there's no way to get past it and to better align our lives with our values if we don't lean into that discomfort. And we don't engage in a willing process of self-critique. This does not mean beating ourselves up. It does not mean expecting everything to change at once. It does not mean taking unreasonable, unsafe, or irresponsible risks. But it does mean opening yourself to a willingness to understand the risk that's necessary to make the change that you want. So, 2 points on mindset today. One has to do with longevity, willingness to show up again and again and again and keep pushing on this regardless of what in the news is making it urgent today. Second is a willingness to be uncomfortable and to examine the tensions that exist between our lives and our values. And I will tell you that we're all going to find them because no one's perfect. And again, we're not going for perfect, but we are needing to push ourselves harder, folks. I don't see any way into what we want to do without working harder and without being willing to do things we don't want to do. So, mindset. We'll start there. And I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to be coming back to you as long as I get the sense that folks are listening and finding this helpful. And I will continue to talk about mindset, but also really start to talk concretely about some different possibilities for how you might move this forward. So I have lots of ideas. I have lots I want to say, but I also want to be respectful of your time as you make space for this new commitment in your life. So welcome to the work of doing good work. I'm excited to work on it myself because as you know, I have improvements to make too over here. So I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Peace.